going on, everybody? KJ Wiggums back with another episode on Bucks County. And today we are going to be getting started on getting our fields turned over. So we're going to head down here to what was our oat field, and we're going to get it all plowed up and ready to go. We're going to have to look at purchasing a cultivator as well. So I know this field doesn't necessarily need to be plowed, but at this point I don't have a cultivator yet. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start getting this turned over. That way it is taken care of, and then once our compost is done, we are going to be able to come through and put some compost down, and then we'll cultivate that into the ground. So my plan is day 6, late autumn. That is the last day that we are able to get oilseed radish in the ground. So I have to get that taken care of tomorrow. But with that, that means I have to get all the field work and everything together and done before we can move on to that. Now, the only problem I foresee is I don't know if our compost is going to be ready by that point. Now, what I have done is I went through and I cut a bunch of grass off camera last night. I slowed the time down and I just took care of all of that. It wasn't a whole lot. I think I got right around 20,000 liters off of it, and it kind of just went around and like I cut this hillside. You can see that the grass is lower there. I cut there, cut behind the barns, and some open areas over by the house and stuff like that as well. So what I'm hoping is with that 20,000 liters that we added to what we had, which takes us up to about 28,000 liters total, I believe. That will be enough to put some compost on here and some compost on what was our grass field last year. Now, I don't have to cultivate all of this in this go around now that I think about it, because we do have the John Deere direct seeders. So they'll be able to put that in. We'll be able to do that. That'll direct seed the oils, or direct, yeah, direct seed? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Or direct drill. Yeah, they'll be able to direct drill the oilseed radish into what we have plowed up here, and then come the time next year in spring when we are looking at getting all of the oilseed radish up, we'll be able to cultivate it. We'll come through with the compost. We'll put that on top, and then we'll seed again, and that should give us 2 fertilizing states. And then once we hit the final growth stage, before we can no longer put on fertilizer, we'll come through and we'll spray the crops with our sprayer, with our little John Deere sprayer, and we'll get some fertilizer on that way. I did go through and for now turned off periodic liming, just because I haven't been able to find a John Deere lime spreader small enough that I can use yet. Once I get the money and we're able to purchase something bigger, I know there is that one John Deere lime spreader and fertilizer spreader that we can use. So we will use that once we get a couple more fields and it's actually worth buying something that big. For what we have right now, it's just not really worth doing. It's not worth spending the money. We're not really doing a lot of contracts and stuff like that right now. We're actually pretty self-sufficient when it comes to running the farm, so I'm not too concerned about all of that yet. We'll cross that bridge when that time comes. But I really do want to get this all ready for next year so we can start getting our potatoes in. Potatoes are going to be our new adventure, and they're going to be I think, a very profitable move for the farm. I'm still watching for a great demand when it comes to our silage bales. I know we're getting ready to go into year 3, and we haven't sold them yet. I'm wondering if the price they're sitting at, I think 295 was the highest that I've seen it at right now, and I'm starting to wonder if that's kind of as high as it's going to go. And if that's the case, I mean, we're, like I said, we're still looking at a pretty decent profit off of that. So we'll be able to get them sold. I'm not sure if I'm going to load them up onto our bale trailer. I have the hay bales still on there, or I'm sorry, the straw bales still on that. So even so, we're not able to do that just yet. Or I may purchase a new trailer, and I was looking at possibly doing a Joskins trailer, mainly because we were talking about when we got that little tipper trailer, the little 3-point tipper trailer, that with them moving into the States, that they're, starting to use their products more over here in the States. And I thought that it would be a pretty good idea to, start implementing even more of that equipment into the farm here. And I think that would be a perfect little way to do it. And the Joskin trailers, they don't have that protection bar all the way around, and that's causing a lot of problems when getting bales and everything on and off the trailers. So we'll look into that as well. The horses are doing well. They're all fed. I got that all taken care of. It was definitely an operator error on my end. I wasn't back far enough in the trigger when I was trying to unload them, and all I kept doing is just buying more horses. So definitely on me on that one, but I did end up getting it figured out, so that's nice. So all the horses are now in the horse stable. They are all fed. I don't know what happened with that one bale that took over, and it just started saying that there was hay instead of straw in there. So when I restarted the game and all that, I just put the straw bale in there, and I had no problem. So not quite sure what happened there. But other than that, I think everything is coming along pretty nice uh, on the farm. I'm very happy with the way things are turning out, and I really can't wait to expand even more. And that's kind of what our next step is, and that's what I'm hoping to be able to do here with the potatoes. Like I said, I know they're going to bring in a decent amount of money, but we're going to have to spend a decent amount of money before we can do that as well, because my plan is to wash the potatoes and then sort them and sell premium potatoes, and then the pig food that comes from sorting the potatoes will get turned into it'll get placed in our compost pit, and then we will be able to create compost that way as well. I'm thinking as we expand the farm, I think having just one grass field is going to do good for just the hay that we'll need for the horses, but the other two cuts that we'll be able to get off of them, we will be able to put right into the compost pit, and we'll be done with silage altogether. It's actually kind of funny to think about how we started this whole farm off just, making our money off of silage bales, or trying to make the farm work off of, doing silage, and here we are in year 3, and we haven't sold a single silage bale yet. We picked up a couple grass contracts and stuff like that, that got us some extra silage bales and things along that line, but we really haven't done anything when it comes to selling the silage. I guess the contracts helped out a lot to be able to get us to start bringing in some money, but other than that, it really didn't do us any good. We could have sold the silage bales years ago and you know, we would have made a profit. We would have been making money. But I guess, you know, the difference is in FS19 compared to 17, silage just is not worth what it was. So it's hard to do that. It would have taken a lot of work, and the contracts that we put in early on in game have really helped us get to a point to where we are now, and I'm okay with that. I'm all right with where we are with everything. Those silage bales are still going to bring in about $30,000, so that's still going to be a decent amount of money that's going to help uh, get everything else going when it comes to the potatoes and stuff like that. But I do think one of the things we're going to be able to do is get rid of our baling, some of our baling equipment. The wrapper, for sure, we're not going to need or use anymore because we're just not going to be doing silage bales in the bales anymore. So we'll be able to get rid of that. We will be able to, well, we're going to keep the baler because we are going to still do hay. We're going to still do straw bales for the horses and stuff like that. So we'll still need the baler. But other than that, I mean, we'll get a couple, I would think we'd get a couple $100 for the bale wrapper. And, you know, that'll help go towards something, I guess. But other than that, I mean, things have been going pretty well, pretty slow on the farm overall, I think. We're getting towards that time of year where there's not a whole lot of stuff going on or a whole lot of work to be able to be done, especially with just having two fields. We should be able to get through both of these today. And in fairness, that old grass field doesn't need anything done to it anyway. It is already plowed up. We did that a couple episodes ago. So let me go ahead. Let me get this field all taken care of, and then we will be right back. Alright, well, we're just coming on 2 o'clock, and as you can see, I went down and I had to purchase some oilseed radish so we could get in this field. This field's all done. We are actually doing pretty decent for time. We're not going to get that second field planted today, I don't think. So that is going to be another job. I'm really impressed with the 4020 here. It is doing a phenomenal job pulling the seeder here. So I am very pleased with that. I wasn't quite sure. I can't remember if we used the 4010 at all to do any of the planting. I thought we used the 4840 every time. So it is nice to see that we do have another tractor that we can use to put on doing some work and stuff like that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into a little bit of a montage for you guys. No time lapse this go around. We'll do a little bit of a montage, and then we will come back and we will figure out where we are by the end of the day and what we are going to be looking at for tomorrow, because I do have tomorrow as the last day for getting oilseed radish in our old grass field as well. So let's go ahead, we'll kick this off into a little bit of a montage for you guys, get this field taken care of, and then we will come back and wrap up the end of this field and wrap up the end of our day as well. So give me a few seconds, we'll jump into the montage and then we'll be back. Alrighty, so we are coming up to just about 6 o'clock in the evening, and we are putting down our final headland all the way around the field. Surprisingly, well, I guess it's not that surprising. I know you don't use that much oilseed radish, but we did only use just right now 11% of what was in here. So we're going to have a lot left over, which is definitely going to be able to carry over into the next year when it comes time to doing these fields again. This is something I do want to try to start doing every single year to help with the fertilization. I think overall it will really help, especially with having the direct seeder. We won't have to plow every time. We'll just be able to come through right away and just put some oilseed radish down. I still do want to look at expanding the farm, but I do think that's going to come after next year once we are officially done with our first batch of potatoes. And I think field 38 is what we are going to purchase to expand. I think overall it has the best potential for the farm, and I enjoy keeping everything pretty close together when it comes to building out a custom farm, and that is what we have done here is we've built this custom farm. So let's go ahead and get that turned off, get those pulled up. Let's get out here and let's get back to the farm. Make sure that's out of the way. We'll just let this car pass. Should be fine there. Here we go. So let's get this back to the farm. We'll get this parked up. They're not calling for rain tonight, so I'm not too concerned with getting anything put away, especially since we still have to take care of the grass field. I could run through the night and get that done, but we have all day tomorrow yet. We don't have to rush to get it done. We still do have one more day. Let's go ahead and jump in. Let's just look at what the weather is for the rest of this week. Yeah, we got sunshine all day tomorrow. They're calling for, and they're not even calling for any. Well, that's snow come Saturday, so I think we'll be fine with that. Um, we'll be able to jump in here tomorrow, get this all planted with oilseed radish. And I will probably do what I did last time, probably just go ahead and skip wintertime. There is no point. There's not a whole lot of stuff that I end up doing in the winter anyway. I kind of lower the days of season and kind of just skip through it. You can see I moved all our potatoes over here. I've been storing them in here just to help clear that area up out there. And then I think tomorrow we're going to have to go ahead and also take care of the horses. What else do I got to get done? I got to get this trailer unloaded and get that taken care of. Yeah, they look like they're doing pretty good. What's the cleanliness look like? Do horses make a mess? I don't remember if horses make a mess or not. I don't think they do. But yeah, so the horses are good for now. We got to get that trailer done, get that piece, this land up here, get the oilseed radish in that. Let to pull all that out, restack that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head in. I am going to go to sleep. We'll go ahead, run through the night, and then we will be back in the morning to take care of that field. I left the lights on in the 4840. Let me turn them off. There we go. All right, so I will see you guys in just a second. All right, good morning, everybody. We are on day 6 of late autumn, and we are going to be taking care of our last field, getting the oilseed radish in there. Actually, I got a full potato sack down here, so let's go ahead and grab that so we can get the next one loaded up, and then we will take care of that field. Let's go ahead and carry this over in here. We'll stack this up, and then we'll jump into 40-20, and we will get to work. Now, I know there's still a little bit of work I have to do, just making some changes on the farm in Giant Editor, just because of some of the details that we've added around the farm. Like these piles here, I have to move this pile to the left some because it's not wide enough to get the seeder in. And my goal is eventually to fence off some of this. So this is going to be the only way into this field anyway. So I am going to have to take care of that. So for now, what we'll do, jump in the 48-20 here. And we'll just come over here by the horse pen. And then we will just come in this way and we'll take care of this field. This one I don't think should take too long either. Most of the fields around here are pretty small when it comes to, well, actually, compared to our equipment, these fields are pretty big, if you ask me. It does take a decent amount of time to put the work in and get all this stuff done, so I do think it is nice. I think it's a nice balance with the size of the machines we're using compared to the fields and stuff that we have. But I do know as we start to get and grow bigger, like field 38 here, that is going to take a decent amount of our time just to plant and do all that stuff. So when we get to that point, I mean, there is a possibility of maybe buying another one of these direct seed direct drills and, you know, being able to run 2 at a time. I think if we do that, we're going to have to run the 48-40. I don't think the 40-20 will be big enough to take care of both of them. But we'll cross that bridge when it comes. You can see we're starting to get to the end of the year. The birch trees are starting to die off a little bit. It's getting ready to become quite barren around here. Tomorrow is the first day of spring. I'm still running 6-day seasons just for now because we just don't have that much work anymore. But we are able to make a profit every day. I think we brought in $6,000 last night off of everything. So with the horses and all that stuff, that's pretty awesome if you ask me. The windmill as well, and then the potatoes we could potentially sell, use them for seeding come next year, which is what my plan is. That way we're not spending any money whatsoever on our potatoes for planting next year. And my goal, what I'm thinking is we will run a couple strips up and down through these fields and then come through and do oats along the headlands is kind of what I'm thinking would work for us, because then it'll still give us the oats we need for the horses, and we're not going to have like any funky lines, because I don't really think potato fields are done in any way but straight lines. So I think that'll work pretty well. I think that'll be a neat touch that we'll be able to add a little bit of customization there, because I also believe, let me jump into the seasons menu here, and when it comes to oats, we harvest oats, we can start at the beginning of the fall, and when it comes to potatoes, that can be done. So oats and potatoes will run the same time. So what we can potentially do is at the beginning of autumn run through and take the headlands down and get the oats out of the ground, and that'll free up and open up the area when we have to come through and do the potatoes as well. So getting the potatoes in first or second, well, the potatoes will have to go in first because we'll have to do them and then come around with the headland for oats. So I think within a couple days of each other, we should be fine when it comes time to harvest season, and getting all that stuff worked out so that we're not, losing any crop or anything like that. And as we get into the bigger fields, it might change how we do things. We might just end up leaving some areas untouched, leave the headlands alone just to be able to come in and harvest the potatoes, I think. Would probably be the best idea. I don't know. You guys have to let me know what you think down in the comments, if you think that's a good idea. But I do think for these smaller fields, it's going to work out perfect. Possibly come through and do 2 headlands all the way around and do the potatoes inside those headlands. I'm not quite sure how to do this dog leg up here though, but we'll get it figured out. So yeah, I think overall for the farm, going into year 3, sitting at $108,000. That's just going to continue to grow over the winter time as well, because the windmill will keep working. We'll still be bringing in the income off the horses, taking care of them. So I'm not sure how many videos will be out in the winter time, or if we will just be back in the spring like we did at the end of year 1. But if there's anything that is exciting that goes on, or maybe just do some clips of some small jobs that I might have to do. I'm not quite sure what all I'm going to have to get into in the wintertime. I didn't do much last year, but we did have the grass fields and stuff like that, so possibly a silage sell-off when it comes to those bales. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what the price of that stuff goes up to as well. But yeah, I think other than that, this is coming along great. You know what I should do? I should come up with a video of showing what everything looked like before and after we built the farm. I think that would be kind of neat to see the progress we've made. Just here, what are we? I think this is episode 31, I believe. So that'll be kind of cool. I think maybe we'll do that for like episode 35 or something. Just come up with, a before and after shot of everything, or maybe do like a little montage of that. But I think that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna get this field finished off, get all this stuff taken care of, and then, like I said, I think at the end of the day, I will catch you guys probably at the beginning of spring next year. Unless, like I said, unless something comes up, maybe do a video or 2 here in the wintertime this go around, since we didn't do it at the end of year 3. Or, I'm sorry, at the end of year 2. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please think about doing so. I really do enjoy talking with everybody and growing the little community that we have here. Thank you to all the subscribers that have just joined. I believe the last one that joined was Farmer D. So Farmer D, thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the community. You can also find me on Facebook under KJ Wiggums. I do post pictures there every now and then, and talk with you guys there as well. So I'm going to go around, get these headlands done, and then I will catch you guys in the next episode. As always, happy farming.